Hey, everybody, Colin Wilcox with Extraordinary Concepts, and we're going over Guest Journey Audit. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the pre arrival. And without this pre arrival, this is where they make a decision whether they're actually going to drive to your location or not. And it's a very important first step. We're going to be talking about touching points of a guest's journey. And it's just for all restaurants, it's pretty much the same touching points. And you got to really be paying attention to selfless details, I call it. Put extra in front of ordinary. So let's just talk, and we're going to just talk about what we can, thinking about it. And the first one is the way to go into it is thinking about it. So the first touching point a guest is going to be having is thinking about you. There's so many restaurants out there, and why are they thinking about you? How did they think about you? And where do you come in to play when they think about you? And essentially, the best way they think about you is they're a regular customer of yours, and they're hungry and they're craving whatever you desire, the experience that you have. But also, social media is kind of something that just kind of keeps them on top of mind. And that's sort of why we do all the social media stuff, is to keep on top of the mind of the guests. So, one of the first touching points is, how did the guests first hear about your restaurant, and did they feel memorable? Does it feel memorable or ordinary? So, you obviously want the touching point to be memorable. Like, wow, I can't wait to go to that space. It's just such a fun space. Let's go tonight, rather than it's ordinary, and then going to start thinking about other spaces. The next question, and when you're actually getting to these questions, and I'll leave these in my, in the notes down below where you can get these things for free. But the next question, and when you actually answer these questions, ask these questions and answer them, you should give yourself a score from 1 through 10 and sort of see where you rank. And then when you go back and look at these questions again and do this again, you can sort of see if you're ranking better and what areas you need to work on. The second question would be, how easy was it to find your restaurant online? So that's just, sometimes you say, hey, is there T-bones, T-bones near me? Or, they're not going to be doing a lot of like typing and stuff. They're just going to talk to their device. And when they do that, how do you come right up? Is it easy for you to get to it? When they actually get there, is it easy, the click through rates are basically not rates, but the clicks, they don't want to click more than 3 times. So what does that experience feel like? Was it just really seamless, smooth, exciting as they're actually going through that journey? And you want to sort of rate that, so what kind of experience when they found you online, and then what do they actually experience when they do find you online? What did you think about the look, feel of the restaurant's website and social media presence? So these are things that they're going to do. So when they're thinking about you, 90% of the customers before they actually enter your restaurant are going to go through this door. I call this is the first door. This is a digital door. So they're going to go through the digital door before they go through your door. And the digital door is a website, is your social media presence, and so on. And what does that look like? What are the pitches? What are the comments? What are the reviews? All that kind of stuff is very important. So, what kind of experience are they getting before they actually even get to your door? All this is going to make them make that one decision whether they go to you or not. They're now getting in the car, driving to you, and going to have experience. So, this is the pre arrival is like the most important. Well, not the most. I call them. They're all very important, but this is the top, because they'll make a decision whether they want to go or not right there. So, how easy was it to view and read the menu online? It's very important to make sure that you're mobile friendly. Everything's going to be mobile friendly nowadays. Very few people are really doing a lot of things on the PC. It's got to be mobile friendly. It's got to be mobile first. So make sure that is. And what kind of experience is that? You don't want them to be touching a lot of buttons. Click there, click here to see this, click here to see that. You don't want it when they're actually scanning through your websites or scanning through things. You don't want, like, people put PDF menus on it. So you got, a picture of the menu and you got to zoom out to look at the actual menu items. You don't want that. They want to be able to see nice and clean and smooth scrolling through the menu. So you got to make sure you do that kind of stuff, online presence, and how mobile friendly you are. Another question is, did the online photos, messages make you excited to visit? So you can post these, the customers can post these. You want to encourage customers to post these, but are you getting excited about going to the restaurant when you see these photos and so on? It's very important, and these are things that you need to pay attention to. This is all part of building your restaurant, building the experience, building selfless details. So these are the details. Pay attention to them. Customers aren't necessarily knowing, like, "Ooh, he put a nice picture on there," but they do know when they see a nice picture, they feel it. They want to feel your restaurant emotionally and visually, and hopefully you can throw in some video in there too before they actually get there. So you got to give them a taste of what they have in store for them to make that decision. Let's see, how easy, was it to make reservations or call ahead? You know, those are now all this technology is you wanna be able to make sure you can order online, you wanna be able to make reservations online and all those things, so you wanna make sure that that's available. You don't wanna just sit there and not have that available because you'll even if they don't use it a lot, you'll feel like a dinosaur, look like a dinosaur and outdated. And also even having spots sometimes a quick, to click into Instagram, into Facebook, so you can show them that kind of social media presence that you have. They're going to be trying to do these journey anyway, so make it easy for them because the easier it is, that's where they're starting to experience what you have to offer. Let's see. How quickly did the restaurant respond to messages or calls? So sometimes you might have a question, do you have this item or what do you have gluten free? All that kind of stuff should be in your menu anyway and sort of telling them that certain items are gluten free. But if you have questions, when you make a phone call, the hostess shouldn't, after two rings, they need to pick up by two rings. Three's okay. After three rings, forget it. And, I mean, and now they have robots and all that other stuff that can do that social media stuff. I'm sorry, not social media stuff, but picking up the phone. I don't necessarily like it because I like the authentic human being doing all that kind of stuff, but it's getting pretty advanced that they can do it. And even catering questions are huge. And that may be a place sometimes where you can use artificial intelligence because, if somebody's calling for a catering, maybe some pricing or some to come talk about it, and you're not available and you don't do it, they're going to call the next caterer. And if that caterer responds to it and answers it, then they're going to go with that next caterer. That's it can be that simple. So there's programs out there that are AI that can actually answer customers' questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They call them immediate, that they get them stuff and say, and they'll even book the calendar for an actual human being contact or whatever, or it might even just page you, say, hey, you might want to call this person right away. So those are all important things. These are all touching points for a guest visit. And if you can, hit a 10, 1 through 10, if you can hit a 10 on all these touching points or high scores, you're going to be doing very, very well for a long period of time. How accurate were the directions to your restaurant? So accuracy as far as, obviously you want them to get to your restaurant, but you want to be available on Google Maps. You want to be it's the same kind of same kind of information on Facebook, Instagram, all the platforms, Yelp, all the platforms, all the way across whatever platforms are, which is like 1,000 of them. You've got to be consistent, same address on all of them, same phone number on all of them, same things and all that. AI is going to be looking for that kind of pattern and they're going to want to make sure, if the pattern's kind of broken, well, different number over here, different name over here, different address over here, AI is not going to suggest anything. But if it's very consistent and there's a strong, representation and it's, across all the platforms, then you have a much better chance of success for them to make that decision. And that decision is, yes, let's go check this restaurant out. I'd like to see what's going on there. So like I said, this is the most important one. This is going to be the one that says, "Hey, I'm going to go to that restaurant, or I'm not going to go to that restaurant." So, very important to try to do this the pre-arrival audit. This whole thing is very important, but this video right here is number one as far as for a reason because if they don't actually get this experience, they're not going to go to your restaurant. So, again, my name's Colin Wilcox, Extraordinary Concepts. This is Guest Journey Audit, which is all the touching points a guest goes through. And I'll see you at the next video.